Oh, that is so funny. I love it, Shorty. Like, how hard was it just then? Because we couldn't quite hear each other, and we're locking in and out on each other.
Love it. I just can't hear you now. We just had each other, and now it's gone.
You're gone. I'm gone again. I love it. That's awesome. Shorty's up there in the mountains. Actually, he's in paradise up there at Lennox Head, basically. So, if he's having problems with the internet, bad luck, mate. That's what you cop for living in paradise. Oh, listen, it's time to reconnect. It's time to bridge the gap. Time is now, and it all starts with a smile. Wow. What a beautiful couple of days it's been, Shorty. How you doing?
Mate, I'm good, mate. How's it all been happening? Mate, what a big, epic few days you've been having down there.
Mate, it's phenomenal, right? So we're really hitting up the town of Frankston, and we're really connecting into it. Like it's big energy, it's great energy. It's just awesome touching hearts with people we've never met before. And there's so many amazing stories. Like Heather and I sat up last night. We did a quick chat about some of the stories that we've engaged with, and it's just been extraordinary. But I'm going to go a little bit sideways to come back early, because something happened last week that I really want to talk about, because I happened to meet this guy, Clint, last Wednesday night. And what an amazing man he is. He's a return serviceman, and he was a soldier in the Australian Army. And every Christmas Day, he goes to a psychiatric ward in Heidelberg, which is actually quite significant because it only holds PTSD guys from Vic Pol and the armed services. And it doesn't have a lot of beds. And these guys are the guys that really need support on these days. So we're having a bit of a yarn about how we can support each other, and one thing leads to another. Some socks. He's going to take socks. I told him about socks and how they work and how we like to thank our community. And he goes, wow, that'd be awesome. Because he was actually getting cards written from people, who never met, to say, just want to know that we're thinking of you, and we love you.
Yep.
But this is where it kicks in beautifully. Right? This is where I love what we do. So I just happened to be, I was on Vontae Boss's podcast last week, and it was, if you want to see a beautiful conversation about love and about connection, that is definitely one to watch. But I had a chat to Vaughn at her breakfast. She has a breakfast every Monday in her New Earth community, where they just like-minded people support one another, right? And I think that's awesome, right? Like I support anybody that's got a purpose beyond themselves. I think that's wonderful, and I was having a yarn with them just about what I do, and I explained to them about this situation that I need to get socks for. The whole community just went bang, I'll buy socks, I'll buy socks, I'll buy socks. Because they know that when they buy a pair, we gift a pair. So that one community has gifted all of these socks to these guys on Christmas Day that really do need a smile. So before we get into everything else, I just really want to honor that, because that's what this is about, right? Like Shorty and I, we get up here every week, we have a conversation, we go and do the things we do. It's not about us. It's about how we connect, and it's about how you connect. And I think that's just an extraordinary example how a pair of socks make a difference, and at the end of the day, the socks are the tool we use to connect. They're not the be all of what we do. The actual connection is the conversation. It's the heartfelt connection we get with people when we look them in the eyes and we thank them for doing their best. And I love it, Shorty. I love what we do, and I love the connections that we create, and I love the people that we meet. So that was that, but I'm so pumped with what we got. It's only one more week, Shorty, until we get back together. It's one more week until yourself, Alan, Jon Craig, we're all back together and walking the streets of Frankston. It looks like you may have technical difficulties there, Shorty. Yes, he does. He's sitting there looking around like, what's going on? It was so funny when we started this. We were running a bit late because Shorty's trying to work it all out. He couldn't get it. I can't hear you. Send me a message. I can't hear you. Oh, I love it. I think it's fantastic. But I tell you what, the last week has been amazing, and there's something pretty magical happening at the moment down at the Bayside Community Kitchen, and it's just a community of people coming together to do the right thing to support one another, and that is something for me that I just find extraordinary. People wanting to do things for one another, wanting to make a difference to one another. I just think it's wonderful. Are you back on, Shorty? Are you here, Shorty? No, look at him. Look at his eyes. Look at the intent. He's trying to make it work and he's not quite sure. I can hear you, Shorty. But
can't hear you at all.
I think that's fantastic. I love how this stuff works when you're live, but that's all right. I like to think that technology is absolutely amazing. The mere fact that we can do this kind of thing, there's no frustration there. So I tell you what, today is something pretty extraordinary. I've got Heather joining us, Lisa Westgate's coming down, Scotty Max coming down. They're going to be hitting the streets and connecting with the community in Frankston. I think look at Shorty's frustration. It's gold. But today's going to be something a little bit special. There's a youth group. It starts at 3 p.m. in Frankston that I'm looking forward to going over a yarn with because say Shorty. In Frankston, down in the alleyway, there's a church group that gets together with all local kids and they support one another. And I remember as a kid going to youth group. I remember as the KPR youth group, for anybody I grew up with. I can't remember what night it was, but we always used to go down to the KPR youth group and hang around, get down there to the basketball courts, and that was an awesome time in life. Can you hear now, Shorty?
Yep, back again.
Oh!
Take 3.
Mate, I was hanging it on you so bad, but you couldn't hear it. I was like, watching your eyes go like this and can't figure out the frustration come through. And I'm like, this is gold. But that's life, right? It's front up, keep going,
Yep.
and that's talking about fronting up and keep going. I want to honor some people today, Shorty. I want to honor some people, and it's actually not directly from the business of Smiles, right? Yep. So I get paid to support builders on a Monday night and to have a yarn with them about life and have a yarn with them about what's going on outside of work. Sometimes we talk about work, but a lot of times we don't. I am so proud of these men. I'm so proud of these men that rock up every week to have a conversation about big stuff, to have a conversation about things that really hit home. Like we all go to work and have to put fuel on the table, but it's the reasons at home that we actually go to work. And quite often we miss the opportunity to support them because we come home tired and exhausted and we don't have the energy to front up to those that we love. All these amazing builders are doing that. All these amazing builders are spending their Monday nights having a conversation so that they can release the frustration and work through the things they need to work through so that they are stronger in themselves. Like, what an extraordinary thing. Yep. So I just want to honor you guys. No names because you know that I love you, but I just really want to honor you because it's an amazing thing that we do.
Beautiful. And so I just jump in there though, like honor yourself to actually be able to hold that space for these guys for the ability to share, because it's for a lot of guys it's hard to actually explain how they're feeling. It's sometimes a challenge on what's going through their heads and what's going through their days. But you've got an art, you've got a gift to get stuff out of people, the ability to share, so they feel that they've been heard. They feel that there's a connection there, and they feel that, wow, I feel so much better because I've shared what's going through my life, through my head. So it gives them clarity, and it gives them the opportunity to reconnect to their family. So, mate, I want to acknowledge you for holding that space for these guys. So well done. Well done.
Oh, cheers, Shorty. Like it's something that I don't just do in that paradigm either. Like I actually was in a meeting the other day with Nathan Hawkins, cracking guy, with Mick Hawes and Colin, and we're sitting there, and it was an hour-long meeting, and I sat and did not say one word for 50 minutes, right? And Colin, who I met through previous engagements a long time ago, goes, Scott, what do you do? All right. Thank you very much, Colin. I do exactly what I've just done. I sit, listen, hold space, and evaluate the conversations and support you in your actions. It was one of the greatest gifts to sit there and just hold space, because sometimes it's not the words we say, it's just our presence that makes all the difference. And then I went a lot further into it, and it's just, I guess, oh, wow, okay. And I talked about how I've worked with men for a long time and how I've supported them through some really dark days. It's like, oh, wow. I said, yeah, sometimes my voice isn't needed. Sometimes I just need to sit and be present. Yes, yeah, great analogy for life, you know. And I mean, that's what we're doing at the moment in Frankston. That's what we're doing. Whenever we're out in a community, it's just about holding that space. Someone feels like they've got need to talk, you sit and you listen. Like this gorgeous woman who hopefully she comes on live and jumps up. Fairy Floss is her name. She's a well-known Frankstonite. She gets around with beautiful big pink hair, and she loves it, you know. So
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And what are you noticing with the connection piece as you're going through Frankston over the last few days?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because we're starting to be seen, we're starting to be known, and I love it, right? Because I want to suck it to you. I get talking about this suck it to you. I'm going to suck it to you, but it's literally I'm going to suck it to you. But it's the little ones, you know. Like I've last night I just went down to the local shops, and I had some socks in my bag, and I just want to share with you an email that came through, which is just extraordinary, right? This beautiful human being wrote to me. I just wanted to reach out and to say I was so lucky to be blessed and stopped tonight by Scott in the Karen Downs Woolworths. He gifted me a pair of socks and just really made my night. I've had a pretty gloomy few days, and this meant everything to me. I'm not sure at the time I showed enough gratitude as I was so taken back by the kindness of him. I did tell him I really needed it, but I just wanted to reach out again and show my appreciation. I really love this movement, and we really need more of this in the world. Kindest regards, Christy.
Aww.
You know, like that's
beautiful.
But that's the consistency in the message, Shorty.
Yeah,
right? It's the consistency that the people want some kindness. People want some people to support one another. You know, like, and it's fairly extensive. You know, like I wish we had more fuel, Shorty. I wish we had more fuel to do more. You know, like we're governed by the amount of money we get in. We're governed by how much fuel we've got. We're governed by the support we get. And, you know, like I possibly will have a chat to you after this about how we get more fuel in, and whether or not we ask the community of Frankston to get behind us a bit more and just make some donations so we can keep going, because definitely. I really want to make that 5,000 target if I can. You know, at the moment, we've raised enough for 2,000, so we're going to get the 2,000 mark. But we really need some more fuel to make it happen.
Definitely.
So it's just worth it. Like whether it be a young kid, and there's two guys yesterday. They were sitting there, and I walked up to them, both in their 60s, and okay, guys, how are you? Yeah, good. Just want to thank you for doing your best right now. What? Thank you for doing your best right now. We're not bloody doing anything. I said, yeah, you are. You're out and about in the community. And I said, you got 2 cameras on you. What are you doing? He goes, we're just avid photographers. I said, well, you're up and about doing things in the community, putting smiles on your dial. Putting a smile on your dial puts a smile on the dials of the people around you. So you are doing something. So thank you for doing your best right now. All right. By the way, can I gift you a pair of socks each? And it's just led into this absolutely wonderful conversation, Shorty. And, they could not believe that somebody just, out of the kindness of their heart, just walks up and just gives them a pair of socks. And that for me is something that is a big shot to a lot of people. And we still get a lot of people telling us to go away. Like, I love it.
Really?
Really? Yeah. And it's some people don't know how to receive. But then again, some people think it's a sales pitch. Some people think it's, so that's that's
interesting, isn't it?
Well, in a world that has so much marketing and so much fear-based marketing, like it's, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
Yeah.
It's very easy to think that this person just wants something. Like one lady's like, she goes, I'll give you some money. And I'm like, no, we're not after any money. She said, yeah, but I've got some money here somewhere. I said, please, it's a gift. It's a gift from our heart to yours. She said, yeah, but you've given me something.
Wow.
Said, yeah, but it's just a gift. We don't want anything in return. The mere fact that you smile and you feel good about you, that's enough for us, So, yeah. So
Isn't that
Shorty.
interesting? Isn't that interesting where the conditioning over the years of the selling and the marketing and so forth and the bombardment of take, and yet when there's a gift on the table, the need to wanting to repay financially rather than repaying, well, not even repaying, but just receiving that gift and knowing that receiving is the exchange of energy through a smile, through a connection piece.
Yeah. And that's something for me that's really interesting because, like, I've always had a lot of trouble receiving. That's something that Oscar picked up a couple of years ago. He goes, Dave, why do you give so much but receive so little? I'm like, wow, dude, how did you? I said, well, it's sort of true, but it's sort of not. I said, because, like, look at the people we've got in our life. Look at the people we've got around us. Look at, when we go to the bakery, we get looked after. We go to the shops, we get looked after. We go to fish and chips, we get looked after. I said, it all comes back. I said, but it's just what you put out will come back, but it doesn't come back in the same way, So it's about how that works. So, but receiving something that I think, like, even like this time of year, I'm ringing up people to thank them for being in my life. I ring people randomly, and I say, I just want to thank you for being in my life at the moment because, this has been my year, and I'm really grateful that you're in that. I'm really grateful that you're here. I've learned this year, and I actually rang somebody new in my life that gave me a great opportunity to just network differently and see things differently. And I rang this person, and he's like, yeah, no, well, you don't need to do this. I said, no, but I do. Like, I'm actually really grateful for you. I'm actually really grateful for what I'm learning. I'm really grateful for your openness, and I'm really grateful for connecting and, stepping into support me in my life and my growth. She said, no, you don't have to thank me. I said, no, I do. It's really important to me to thank you because if you don't receive that, you're actually blocking the flow between us and the energy exchange. It takes courage to call someone up and just say, listen, I just want to let you know how much you mean to me. I'll let you know, so to be able to take that on board is a really big thing.
Big time.
We should talk about that one day, Shorty. We should actually sit down and actually go do a big conversation about receiving, because when we learn to receive, I think that's a really beautiful thing.
Magnificent. Totally, yeah, and that's a really great topic that we need to put on the table and definitely have a discussion around. So, want to find out though for today, what's the plan? What's the agenda? Where will you be, and how can the community come around and support you today and over the next couple of days?
Yeah, beautiful. Well, we're going to be based at the Bayside Community Kitchen again. We'll be there every day. Look, I've got a slight little change in plans today because Mick Hawes has got COVID. So I've got to adjust my stuff for him, which is cool. So that's no big deal. He puts food on my table. So if he says jump, I say how high. But apart from that, we'll be out and about in the streets connecting. So if you're in Frankston, be aware, we're going to sock it to you. But I do want to grab something actually, Shorty, that I put up yesterday and I talked about last night. Grant from Sullivan's Carpentry and Plumbing in Frankston. Like, what an amazing guy, father-son team. Had a bit of a yarn with him, handed over some socks. We don't just hand them over. There's a fair conversation that goes in behind it. And he goes, this is amazing. He goes, I really want to pay it forward. He goes, I just feel like giving you $100. I said, awesome. Give us $100 and we'll put some meals at the Bayside Community Kitchen. So he gave us $100. We took the $100, gave it to the Bayside Community Kitchen, and now they've got some food for those who need it. And I love that, right? As much as we need fuel for socks, humans need fuel to live.
Wow.
You know,
that's
how awesome
so good.
That?
That's so good. That's what it's all around. The community supporting community.
100%. And that's one thing I've learned more than anything else is the importance of that, Shorty. And, you know, like when we're up in Lismore, Mullumbimby, Evans Head, it was the local Rotary clubs that got behind us and cooked a barbecue. It was the, you know, all the little bits and pieces that made a significant difference to how things go. And, you know, like who knows how we go? We might even see if we can turn something up. If anyone's in and around Frankston and, you know, you want to donate some sausages, I'm sure we'll be more than happy to, you know, put together a bit of a sausage sizzle out the front of the community kitchen or something, get something going just to
fire up the Barbie.
Fire up the Barbie and hand them out, I reckon. So I
love it.
But yeah. So Shorty, next week's going to be a big week, right? This week it's the start, you know, we're trying to build up to a bit of a crescendo. But the connection next week, 4 out of the 5 men that stood at Tucky, 4 out of the 5 men are going to be back together, you know. And I look back at Tucky now. Jon Craig went back there the other day and he goes, it was fantastic being back there. But then he reflected upon the day that 5 men stood in a circle. He goes, that was more powerful than I realised. Murray Parr, if you're watching this, get down to Melbourne. Giddy up. All right. So anything you want to share, Shorty?
I just want to acknowledge all the work that you've done. Heather Joy Bassett, amazing getting out and connecting with the community. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to coming down and joining the journey next week to really get in amongst the Frankston community and connect with the community down there. So really appreciate everyone's support, getting behind us down there. But please, we need some more support. So whatever you can do, let's sock it to you and let's get some more socks out into the community and keep that connection piece going.
Yeah, giddy up. So Shorty, how would people support us?
So simply jump onto the website, I Hope You Are Smiling, and the opportunity to buy some socks, opportunity to donate some socks, and all the details are on the website, ihopeyouaresmiling.com.
So I'm going to ask you to be a little bit more specific. When we go to the website, you got the socks, you go scroll down, you find the socks. How do they go to the donate button?
Yeah, so there's more. There's a tab called More, and how can I support? Click on that, and then there's a link to our Michael's site, and you can just jump on that to donate so we can get some more socks.
Giddy up. Beautiful. All right, Shorty. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. What's Up Wednesday over and out, and we'll be back next week live together from my place with all of us, and that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, giddy up. All right, well, take care. Have an amazing day, and I'm sure you'll see us over the next week.
See you guys.
All right, take care. Now, where is